beginners, welcome to your hand technique basics video. Okay, so the techniques we're going to do today are the ones that can be found in discipline form, which everybody's learning right now. And I'm also going to throw in a back fist just for a little extra practice on that technique. So as we're practicing today, I will explain how to do each technique, and then I want you to please pause the video and practice on both sides. Do at least 20 on each side. Okay? So here we go. We're going to start with the spear hand, and that is found kind of in the middle of discipline form, but it's a new technique for a lot of you. And here's how it works. Okay, you guys probably, I am guessing, have done plenty of punches by now. Your concepts from the punch are going to be the same for the spear hand. You're going to have a pointing hand, you're going to have a striking hand, which you're going to bring upside down and then rotate. Okay, so it's the same concepts as a punch. And we're going to see that in almost all of our hand techniques today. Okay, so when we do the spear hand, you want to have a nice, tight striking tool. So make sure we're not having fork hands and spoon hands. You want a really tight knife. Okay, you're going to have the thumb super tight. You're going to have your fingers pushed together. And I always give a slight bend to my fingertips. Okay, that's especially important on the spear hand because that's what you're striking with, your fingers. Okay, so you don't want to do that to a hard body target. Usually it's going to be the throat or the eyes or the nose. Okay, so here's how we do it. You're going to have a pointing hand. Your striking hand is at your belt. It's going to be palm up. Carry it forward. Twist right at the end. Okay, one more time. Aim. This hand is at your belt. Bring it across upside down and twist. Okay, now from a different angle. That is your horizontal spear hand. In the form, it's done neck level. So when you're doing it in your form, it should look like just around shoulder height, but in more towards the center of the body. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is a palm heel. Similar concept. Okay, just like the punch, you're going to start with your aim. You're going to get your striking tool ready. And in the palm heel, you strike with the palm of the hand. So you want to have your fingers curled back and your thumb pulled tight so that you can strike right here. Okay, so we're going to bring that hand across, palm up, just like we did before. And when you twist, make sure you're pulling your fingers up and they're not sticking out. Sometimes I see this on the palm heels. You want the hand pulled back so you strike right here. Okay. So prepare your striking tool, upside down and twist, and check that you're using the palm of the hand, not your fingertips. Okay, so different angle. And that's how you do your palm heel strike. Okay, so if you haven't practiced yet, practice your spear hands and practice your palm heels. Okay, the next one is going to be your knife hand strike, and that one probably you have already learned, unless you're brand new. That comes across the body, so it's a little bit different direction than the last technique was. So I'm going to kind of walk through nice and slow. Just like on the spear hand, I have my fingers and thumbs, everything is really tight. I wrap up with my striking tool. That arm is on top. My pullback hand is underneath. Make sure you're not letting things slop down. Don't hug so tight that your arms are tense. You want everything kind of relaxed. Okay, so we're going to bring that hand across and twist, striking with the blade of the hand, which is right here. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit different angle here. Bring it across and twist. Now notice that my elbow is slightly bent, and that's actually true of almost every hand technique. You never want to end with a completely straight arm. It hurts your elbows and your shoulders. And really when you're doing any of these hand techniques, if you're a detail person, you're really driving all of them from the center of the body. If I'm doing a spear hand, I'm letting my hips twist and drive that forward. If I'm doing a palm heel, same thing. If I'm doing a knife hand. So if you're a detail person, you can pay attention to how the body is driving the technique. Okay, so we're going to go on to the elbow strike. And with the elbow strike, you're 100% driving this with the body. So that was a good segue. Okay, so we're going to start by bringing what I tell the kids is your chicken wing. Get your chicken wing ready, your striking arm. When we do board breaks, etc., with this technique, we're generally using not the elbow, but the spot right in front of the elbow, right here at the top of the forearm. Okay, so we're going to reach. Think about grabbing like behind the bad guy's head. We're going to pull in with this front hand at the same time the body drags the elbow forward. Okay, so without this front hand, this is the body motion. And now with the hand. Okay, so it's a very powerful self-defense technique. Practice those a lot. Okay, so bonus technique, let's review the back fist. It's not in the form, but I've been throwing them at you a little bit, beginners, in the other videos. So let's just review how to do those in case there are any questions. Okay, it's very similar to a knife hand, except your striking target is actually, or your tool, is actually going to be your knuckles instead of this. Okay? So, we start with the striking hand on top, the pull back hand underneath, and my top hand right now is palm forward and thumbs down. I'm going to bring that across the body and rotate right at the end. So now I'm thumbs up. You can see hopefully that my elbow is slightly bent. I'm not doing this and hurting my shoulders and my elbows. And just like we talked about already, I'm using my whole body to drive that technique. So my whole body is a lot stronger than my one little arm, especially my arms. Okay, so the two more techniques to do. We're going to be doing the scissor guard and the drag guard. So when we do self-defense, we got to have a guard. We got to have our hands up, right? When we spar, we have our hands up. That's our protection. So this is a really important thing in our forms to remind us of that we need to have our hands up as part of our protection. Okay, so the scissor guard starts by making an X, and you snap the hands in place. Okay, if you're brand new to these, that's about as much as you need to know right now. Cross the arms, snap into place. Okay? If you're more detailed, if you've already been doing these and you want to learn how to do them better, here's how you start it. The hand that goes out starts in. Okay? And I'm going to bring my other hand in front. Okay, so I start opposite of how I end. So my inside hand starts out, and my outside hand starts in. That's very tricky. So again, if you're brand new, don't worry about those details. Okay, so in discipline form, the hands are open, but it works exactly the same way. Start palm out on my outside hand, palm in on the inside hand, and then I twist into place. Okay, my end position, this front hand should be up high enough that you can look right at it. It should be about eye level. The other hand, this arm should come across the body. The hand doesn't have to be up super high. It's definitely not going to be down here, but just somewhere in between, somewhere natural. It should feel kind of neutral and comfortable. Okay, so that is your scissor guard. Practice those a lot. And then the last one we're going to do is called the drag guard. Okay, this one shows up in the AMAA forms whenever we change directions. So in discipline form, we do a front kick. We're going to side kick behind us, and then our direction is going to come back forward with our drag guard. Okay? So I'm going to scoot back a little bit so you can see exactly what my arms are doing. Okay, I'm reaching behind. So the hand that's going to be on the inside reaches straight out behind me. The other one just kind of comes across the body. I'm going to pull them across into my same guard position we were using earlier. Okay, so start behind, drag the arms across the body and into our guard position. Okay, so a little more detail for all of you detail people. So when I do my chamber, my ready position, I need that back hand to be palm down and my front hand is palm up. Okay, that way I can twist into position at the end. Okay, so one more time. This reaching arm is palm down, the other hand is palm up. And I twist always right at the end. Every single hand technique, except maybe the elbow strike, He has a rotation right at the end. Okay, so that's how you do the two guard positions. Some great ways to practice those are with steps, because usually in a form we're doing something, then landing into it, or we're stepping back. We're landing and adjusting. Okay, so practice them in different ways, with kicks, with walking. You can walk across the room, stepping back, stepping forward. Okay, that's if you're ready to have that kind of hand-foot timing. If you're brand new, again, just practice cross. Get the basics down first. Okay, so if you have any questions, contact me by email, by phone, Facebook Messenger. I'm not too hard to reach. So thank you very much for training with us, and hope to see you in the class soon. Kamsahamnida.